Here's a quick rundown of how to make presentation note cards. So the first thing to think about is before you can present presentation note cards, you'll need to create a preparation outline. So that's kind of what we've worked on in class. So this has your intro, your three main body points, and then your conclusion. And typically on each body point, you have a couple things to talk about for each body point. So you're going to use your preparation outline only for organizing your ideas and for preparing your speech. You're not going to actually speak off your outline. You're going to have note cards or something you've created that's a little more organized. So the thing about this says never use your preparation outline to practice or prepare for your speech or presentation. That's more of a guideline. It's kind of like a note sheet, and you're going to use that to create your note cards that are going to help you with your speech. So practice and deliver your speech using brief presentation notes that are based on your outline, and that will be your note cards that we're going to be talking about in this quick presentation. So presentation notes are brief reminders of what the presenter plans to cover during the speech or presentation. So this is what your presentation notes are in short form, your note cards. You're going to have 5, okay? They're going to include information that the speaker does not want to risk forgetting. For instance, good presentation notes remind you not only of what you have to say, but how you have to say it. So let's take a look. Here's some of those clues. Your presentation notes should include delivery cues or directions for delivering the speech. So you're going to make those delivery cues stand out from your content notes. Say you want to pause at a certain point. You want to remind yourself to look up. Sometimes I have to write on mine to slow down because I know I talk fast, or perhaps if you're kind of a quiet speaker, you might want to remind yourself to speak louder, and you're going to write these things directly on your note cards. Sometimes speakers use full sheets of paper for their presentation notes. However, I don't want you to do that for this quick speech that we're giving. I want you to use note cards. So note cards or index cards are available in different sizes and colors. They're small enough to handle and stiff enough not to rustle. So if you have note cards at home, that's perfect. If you need to use paper cut into smaller pieces, that's fine as well. So your presentation notes can be handwritten, typed, drawn, so maybe a concept map help you, or maybe you're going to even outline on your note cards. It's whatever works best for you that's going to help you with your speech. Whatever form your notes take, the most important thing is that they make sense to you. So just like with our note taking that we've been working on all semester, it's the same thing for your presentation notes or your note cards. Make something that you can remember. You may find it helpful to use the following guidelines for creating and using presentation notes. So plan your note cards in according to logical blocks of material or the structure of your preparation outline. For instance, you're going to have one card that's labeled intro and one that's labeled conclusion. You're going to only use one side of your note cards, and remember to number your cards. So you're going to have cards numbered 1 through 5. You need 5 note cards for this assignment. You're going to have one for your intro, one for body point 1, one for body point 2, one for body point 3, and then one for your conclusion. So you'll have a 1 through 5. Use large letters in dark ink and make sure they're neat and easy for you to understand. Okay, so they need to be clear and easy to read. Make sure that you have a lot of white space. You shouldn't be writing a book on here. You should just only be writing a minimum number of words or phrases just to help jog your memory. Also limit the number of note cards you use. As I said, you're going to have 5 for this one. For this bullet point, if you have too much written on your note card, you may overlook those key pieces of information. So don't really write sentences, just write bullet points. Only the points you want to remember. You're going to use that to jog your memory, and then you're kind of going to be speaking from just your head and your heart. So here are some guidelines for using note cards. Don't actually read from them. You're just going to glance quickly at them, and you're going to look immediately up and kind of continue to give your speech. You should be looking at the audience 95% of the time and not at your note cards. And you're going to use the same set of note cards when speaking that you used while rehearsing. So when you practice at home on Thursday and Friday, you're supposed to be practicing at least 3 times a day. Use the same note cards you'll be speaking in class as you would at home. So don't be afraid to use these note cards because they're super helpful in keeping you organized. And at home, if you take a look at this quiz, you can go through this at your leisure and see if you can understand the concept of using note cards. I'm not going to go through it as I narrate, but feel free to do that at home. All right. Hopefully this gives you a quick rundown of how to make successful note cards to help you with your speech. Remember, you're going to have 5, numbered 1 through 5 for each portion of your speech. Your intro, the 3 body points, and your conclusion. Make sure you number them. Feel free to use colors, highlights, whatever helps you. These are for your use only. You will be taking a picture and submitting them just so I know that you have completed that portion, but they're really just to help you stay organized and with your speech.